Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Shooters Lounge podcast. I am your Matt at PostUp323. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. You can follow us on the socials at Shooters Lounge 3, and you follow us the videos on YouTube, and also follow us on the Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts in podcast form. This week, guys, it's NBA Finals week. We are here. It's that time of year again. This is where the legends are made. This is where the discussions are had. So tonight, we've got to bring out the big guns. It's finals week, so we've got to bring out the big guns. So as always, we've got Mr. Philosopher here. How's it going, bro? Good to see you again, man.
I just schooled. Don't worry. Big up to the Shooters Lounge. I got some fans that have been battering me, waiting for the man ones. You know.
Yeah,
we hear you promoting on the Shooters Lounge. When are you gonna next be on? Blah blah blah. But it's finals week. This is June. This is what we live for.
Absolutely.
So good to be here.
Absolutely. Yeah, always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure. And tonight we have the returning AB. AB, what's happening, bro? Good to have you on the Shooters Lounge again, sir.
Yeah, I have to come back for the finals, man. This is what it's all about. I mean, we've gone through all the 82 games and a couple rounds of the playoffs, but this is where legends are made, man. You got the gold badges on the jerseys. You got the finals script on the court. This is what it's about, man. This is what it's about.
This is it, bro. Like the energy, mate. Like the energy. Bringing the energy. It's all good. It's all good, man. Always a pleasure to have you on, bro. So, like you say, it's finals week. So the finals is set. Before we kind of kick on to the preview of the NBA Finals, which starts on Thursday evening, we just kind of go over. We've kind of missed a lot since the last show. We'll kind of go over the conference finals. First off was Celtics managed to overcome. I say overcome. Well, it was managed to just step over the Indiana Pacers. Unfortunately for the Pacers, ended up in a sweep. AB, did you catch much of this series? What were your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, I did. Just standard procedures, man. This is what you expect from the Boston Celtics. Even before, obviously, the playoffs have begun. Obviously, winning 64 games, we know what they do in the postseason anyway. It was always going to be like finals or bust. And you come up against an Indiana team who probably shot the world by beating the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks had been running to the ground. We spoke about off air about how Tibbs just loves running these guys into the ground. And obviously they were just tired by the time they played the Pacers, and the Pacers managed to advance to the conference finals. And I mean, it gives a lot of similarities to that Atlanta run a couple seasons ago when unfortunately they took down obviously my Sixers in Game 7, and in the blink of an eye, probably they didn't really expect it. A lot of the NBA fans around the world didn't expect them to get to the conference finals, and then there they are going up against the Bucks. So I would have thought that a lot of even Pacers fans themselves didn't expect to get to the conference finals to go up against the Boston Celtics, but obviously getting swept and losing Tyrese Halliburton in what I think it was the third quarter of Game 2. I mean, the Pacers barely stood a chance with Halliburton, so you lose your star player, then it's over, man. And then the Celtics, obviously, you have to give credit to them. You can only beat who is faced in front, who you're faced in front of, and they managed to handle business in 4, get them out of the way, and they advanced to the NBA Finals. But obviously, it's not the matchup that I really wanted to see, because we all knew that the Celtics were just way more talented than the Pacers. But obviously, as I mentioned earlier, you have to beat who you face in front of you, and the Celtics, you got to credit them for getting it done in 4. They didn't play around with their dinner and extend it to 5 and maybe even 6. So, now they have this rest that they deserve. What is it, 9 days rest before the NBA Finals, which take place Thursday night? So you got to hand it to them, man.
Yeah, they handled the business, bro. Like you say, no mucking about this time. No stupid games given up or anything like that. Philosopher, do you have some thoughts, mate? I'm sure you'd have some anecdotes for this one.
Yeah, I actually going against the grain. They're going against what you're all saying here, because for a number of reasons. And none of them are because I hate the bloody well leprechauns. None of them are that reason. So let me get that out the gate.
Bro, we put the conference finals prediction on, and you were straight up hating, bro. You had Pacers in 7. I was
Pacers in
like,
7.
man,
Pacers in 7.
No way.
And I could back up why I thought that was possible. I still think it was possible. Game 1 in Boston Garden showed that it was possible.
That was the one.
One bad coaching decision and one horrible brain fart cost the Pacers game 1.
Yeah.
If they had snatched that game 1, at the very worst, it would have been a gentleman's sweep. You just think of that for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
If the Pacers go to Indiana at 1-1, the Pacers' tails are up. And yes, I know they had a worse record than New York, but I expected them to beat New York as well because I thought they were better matched than New York. Pascal Siakam is an NBA champion. No one would know if you watched that Boston series just now. You know what I mean? Because sadly, I think what beat the Pacers is inexperience. Miles Turner making horrible decisions. And them giving away the basketball way too easy. Like their turnover rate was insanely high. It was the highest for the Pacers for the whole playoffs. That series, the Pacers but again, take nothing away from Boston, who obviously is a different animal altogether than in New York, or was it the Bucks? I think they faced in wrong before that. Yeah. So yes, they have to face the Bucks with their 2 main stars, which would present a whole different ball game for Indiana for sure. But the Celtics show them exactly what you face when you have to meet the big boys. This is where big boys come to play. This is the playoffs. Win or go home. And unfortunately, I have to go home if you do the kind of nonsense the Pacers did. So if in the first 2 games you giving up those type of chances, and this is where I agree with AB wholeheartedly, and you have your star player in Tyrese Halliburton, when he goes down, what then are we to expect? What should happen is the Pascals and the Miles Turners and even the TJ McConnells and those boys turn up the heat a little bit that they have done the entire season, which is what because if you remember, Tyrese Halliburton was out for a good chunk of the season. And even them boys was playing very, very well. But alas, this is the conference finals. If you don't do it here on this stage, then you got, book your ticket. You know what I mean? The Yucatan Peninsula is yours. So, unfortunately, once they hadn't taken their chances, my last hope was to maybe see if they could rally something in game 3. But even without a Tyrese, that's a tall order. And I'm not putting it just down to one star, but like I said, the disappointing thing was for the supporting cast. I was shocked to say the others, And I don't have my stats up right here in front of me right now, but you're doing some research for tonight. I realized that they were also tremendously out-rebounded. I'm sorry, Al Horford and his 197-year-old self not out-rebounding me if I'm Miles Turner. It's not happening. I don't care. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? So you can't allow those things to happen and then be upset when you get swept. You're gonna get dealt with from a machine like Boston, a well-oiled, well-prepared machine like Boston. So big up to Boston. And I must say at this point, and I'll end off by saying this, you have to give Jaylen Brown his flowers. He deserved that. That's final MVP.
Yeah, he's had some criticism, bro, hasn't he, over the last in the last 2 or 3 years, and I think
myself included.
I think a lot of us on this show, mate, have voiced, our displeasure. But I think the improvement that I think Brown has made has been evident in this year's playoffs. I think for definite, hasn't it? I think you can definitely see it. Like you say, turnovers, like Pacers were averaging 16 turnovers a game, bro. You're not winning, are you? The loss for, like you say, if you're turning the ball over routinely like that, and also late game execution turning the ball over, late game situations. Some of the games were tight, weren't they, guys? Do you know what I mean? So, like you say,
Exactly.
you know, game one, you were right there and probably should have won that game. And once you coughed up that game, once they coughed up that game one, I was like, this might be a wrap now, bro. That was the one. And like you say, you win that one, and then you kind of get the confidence and the balls rolling then in your momentum, and like you say, bro. Once that one was gone, I thought, yeah, this could end in a sweep here, like. But you always think, you know, Boston over the last couple of years have given up games where you just think, how the hell have they just coughed up that game? But they didn't do that this time. So is this year's Boston team different than the rest? I think they've proven all season that they are, aren't they? I think ultimately Boston too talented, too deep. I mean, Pacers, you got to give them credit, man. They brought the effort, like, you know, McConnell and all them guys, the second unit guys. That you know, effort only gets you so far than talent, doesn't it, bro? Do you know what I mean?
That's why I think the Pacers are deeper than New York. The Pacers can challenge AB's Philly when it comes to depth.
Bro, we're deeper than the Knicks, mate. Right here, 3 of us, mate.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mate,
you know what I mean?
The Shooters Lounge roster's deeper than the Knicks thing, mate. I'll tell you that. Right
you know what? So like, inexperience beat them boys, man. And Boston put them to the sword.
Yeah.
I got to shout out. Speaking about inexperience, I got to shout out Andrew Nembhard as well, man. Because obviously when Haliburton went down, he really stepped up in Game 3 and Game 4. Game 3 got 32 points, 9 assists. He had 17 points in the second quarter of that game. That game, the Pacers were up 18 in the third quarter. You know, that was the game when Al Horford hit those 7 threes. Yeah, so the Celtics tendencies, they haven't fully grown from previous lapses in concentration, because they've shown tendencies. Like, they were down 18 points in that Game 3 in the third quarter. Al Horford had to knock down 7 threes, and Drew Holiday had that clutch steal in the end, which kind of iced the game. But Andrew Nembhard really impressed me in Game 3 and Game 4. And we forget as well, the Pacers didn't even have Ben Mathurin. That was a 15-point per game scorer in the regular season. He was out for the entire playoffs. So he was someone that would have had to play a big part in this series as well, especially with Haliburton going down.
The Pacers could have. I'm sticking to it. The Pacers could have troubled them, but they could have. Listen, Rick Carlisle got to take a lot of lashes for this too, you know.
Yeah.
Not fouling up 3 at the end of Game 1's gonna come back to haunt you, in it, bro. I think.
Bro, he had a Coach Bud moment. He had a Coach Bud moment.
Oh no!
I'm
gonna experience this next season, guys. Oh my days!
I don't know what you're doing there, boy.
mate, neither do I, bro. Neither do I. But that's for another podcast.
It's true.
You know, Celtics did what they needed to do. They got out early, and like you say, AB, you know, some nice rest leading up to the finals. Finals can't start any earlier, even if you've won early. So especially, you know, we'll look forward to, you know, what they're looking at for the finals. But Celtics just they've been rolling like they have. I mean, people are saying, oh, they've had an easy route to the finals. You can only beat who's in front of you, bro. You can't control who's in front of you, gents, can you? So
I know, but at the same time, though, Matt, you look at this run to the finals, in the first round.
Dude, LeBron did it for a decade, bro.
What
are we talking about here, bro?
You beat the Heat in round 1 with no Jimmy Butler. You go in the second round, you beat the Cavs, no Jarrett Allen for the latter stages, no Donovan Mitchell. And then you come in the conference finals and play the Pacers, who a lot of people didn't expect will be there, with no Tyrese Haliburton for the last couple of games. I mean, if there was ever a case, listen, I'm not hating. I'd love my team to be in this position. But
actually, he has a point, though. He has a point. Yeah, you can't even fight that.
Every team missed their best player at some point.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it wasn't easy, AB. It wasn't easy, but what I'm saying is they can't control that.
Safe, Matt, but AB's got a point. I'm sorry, Matt.
What can you do? I'm like, what can you do? Boston. It's like, well, okay, well, they haven't got the best players, so.
I'm sorry we didn't have this conversation before, because I would have gone into my philosophical historical moment there.
I
I
wish my team
think
would have this luck in the playoffs.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
if
fair.
any one team has ever had a run, AB just raised it.
Your
Where
best
where every team is you're missing your best player for at least a significant part of the series.
Yeah.
We might have to dig deep into the archives for that because
We might, we might.
It might
Not
never
every
happen,
team.
guys. It might never have been done. It might
Yeah,
never have been
like
done.
not every team. Like one team, maybe two, but not
Yeah.
every round.
Everyone.
Maybe you're onto something, bro.
Everyone. I'd be worried if I was Mavs fans, mate. I'd be
yeah,
rapping
and they
them
better
boys
look
in
after
cotton wool,
Luka.
mate.
Wrap Luka in cotton wool. He's not going anywhere. Just from the arena to his house. That should be
And-
his.
And Uncle Drew.
And Drew too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I'm not doubting, guys. It's been easy for him. Don't get me wrong. I completely agree. But when you're Boston, what can you do? You can only beat who's in front of you. So
You have to big up Jordan at this point, though. I hate the Leprechauns so much. They have to big up, and I know AB as a Sixers man don't have no love for them neither. But Jordan said at the beginning, if you remember, in our chat, he is going to sweep everyone.
he did say that.
He lost the game in round one.
He did like that. Yeah.
They lost. Did they lose one against the Cavs as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost one against the Cavs,
Yeah.
and they swept swept the Pacers in the conference finals. They've lost 2 games. Literally, that's one of the best runs to the conference finals. But the reason why I will refuse to rate it now, no hit involved, is because of what AB just showed. Big up to AB. You can't get no ratings from me if you beat man without the stars. I can't.
Yeah. Don't mean a thing without a ring, though, gents. Does it? That's where we're going, isn't it?
It does not.
So waiting for, the Celtics are awaiting the winner of the West, and this one kind of went as probably a bit sooner than what people thought. We got the Dallas Mavericks. Gentleman's sweep of the apparently already anointed Minnesota Timberwolves after beating the reigning champs in the last round. AB, were you surprised on how quick this one went out?
Yeah, no, I was surprised. I was surprised that the Mavs went out, that the Wolves went out in 5. Especially as you mentioned, you beat the reigning champs. I mean, that should be your momentum to take you into that next series and be like, listen, we can actually go all the way here. And obviously, this is a franchise which hasn't won a championship, hasn't really had a lot of playoff success in a lot of years. And then obviously you're bathing in the confidence of your rising superstar Anthony Edwards. So you're thinking they're going to take this momentum into the next series and really flourish, but it didn't really happen that way. I mean, you have to give credit to Kyrie and Luke. I mean, you've heard all these commentators and pundits talk about this might be the greatest offensive backcourt in NBA history. I don't know if I'll go that far. We might have that conversation for another day, but they're definitely up there and they've definitely shown what they're capable of doing and how much of a potent offensive force both of them are. I mean, just in game 1, I mean, they both dropped 30. In the closeout game as well, they both dropped 36 points. Game 3, they both dropped 33 points. I mean, if your starting backcourt is combining for 60 to 70 points a game, then
pressure's on.
Crazy.
Pressure's on.
Crazy. Bro. But as for the series itself, I was really disappointed in the Timberwolves, man. I thought that they would really ride the coattails of that Denver Nuggets series win, but they really struggled. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, he just didn't show up in certain games, always in foul trouble. His free ball wasn't really going for him. Obviously, Shaq and Kenny and all those guys really criticized him for it, but it's just unfortunate to see that because you've got these 2 duos in Cat and Ant-Man, and obviously Kyrie and Luka. You want to see them clash, go head to head, go bucket for bucket and stuff like that, but it didn't really happen that way. And it was just unfortunate, and I feel like defensively as well, I mean, they just got cooked, man. Every time I saw Luka give Gobert get him on the island, just give him every single time. And I'm looking at the sideline, I'm saying, Chris Finch, why do you not switch these? Like, you guys have to go harder around these screens. You have to fight through these screens. You cannot leave Rudy Gobert on the island with Luka Doncic. I don't care how many defensive player of the years you have. It's barbecue chicken every single time. And I feel like schematically they definitely had things that they could have worked on and adjustments should have and could have been made in that series. But at the end of the day, Luka and Kyrie, that two-man tandem, man. That's a dangerous duo right there, man.
Bad boys, mate. Bad boys.
Bad man.
Absolutely. Philosopher, I'm sure you have some thoughts on this one as well, sir.
I'm upset.
Are you? Okay.
I'm very upset.
Okay.
Because as much as I like Uncle Drew, as much as you know what I mean, respect Luka, the Don. That's why I call him the Don. I wanted the Wolves to win, not because of the bandwagon. Everybody hopped on simply because they dispatched the defending champions. They dispatching the defending champions was more of a shocker to the world, even though I wanted them to beat the Nuggets. But I knew that the Wolves still ain't really ready. The Wolves is still ain't really ready because even in the Nuggets series, they showed tendencies as to why they're not ready. You know what I mean? And not just, obviously, you can't stop Luka. You can't stop the Joker from getting his. Same way you can't stop Luka from getting his. And you just definitely can't stop Uncle Drew from getting his.
No.
But you gotta realize that you're a star, and it's not Cat and Ant-Man, it's Ant-Man and Cat. Let me get that right now.
Is anybody saying otherwise? I don't know.
Maybe you my bro, AB, but let me get that right now.
It might even be Ant-Man and McDaniels at this point, man.
Listen, somebody, because you cannot be number one draft pick Karl Anthony Towns out of Kentucky, NCAA champ. I believe. I think he won. Doesn't matter. At the point,
he didn't win, bro. He didn't win.
No, he didn't win. Okay, cool.
No. Sorry.
Nah, that's all right. But he come into that basketball program that put out so many top prodigies, so many top prospects. He's number one draft pick. The team was literally yours. The team has now progressed simply because it's moved away from being yours.
Yeah.
And the few bright lights throughout the whole season, which shows that you seem to be content in being the Robin. You don't have no will to actually want to prove to people, hey, I know he was a number one draft pick too. I know but this team was mine. Y'all give him the keys. I just show you all that I am still that guy. You cannot say that about Cat. And this my series right here, Daniel Gafford and a rookie named Lively second, met Cat look so soft. He looked like a pussy cat.
Yeah.
He looked like
they pumped Gobert as well, man. Them two guys bullied him.
Oh, don't worry.
Bullied him, didn't they?
I am getting to the Frenchman. I'm coming to the Frenchman.
I'm sure, sir. You have the floor,
my friend. That's all right, my bro. I'm coming to the Frenchman. But you cannot be Cat allowing these men to put you, and it's not that you in full trouble, because I think we're all relatively nostalgic in terms of liking the older version of the NBA and so on. So if you getting in full trouble because man coming at you and you know what I mean, you get caught blindsided or you actually defended up. Nah, you gave it stupid fouls. Yeah. Y'all saw that game 3. Y'all saw that game 3, the one that they actually won. Sorry, game 3 or 4? Game 4.
No, they won game 3. Game 3.
Game 3. Game 3. So where he giving them 2 stupid fouls right before halftime. Y'all like if it was Chris Finch, he would be cold for the whole third quarter. I would put he on ice like the Titanic. I just sit down here, look. Sit down right there. Sit down there. Huh? No, man, you cannot be doing them things. Not in conference finals. No.
It's the type of fouls, isn't it, philosopher? It's like it's you know it's down all the way down at the other end of the court and things. Towns he turned into his old self again. In the Denver series, he had a really good series, didn't he? He turned back to his previous self, I think, in this one.
At least for 3 or 4 games in the Denver series, and coming to the Frenchman now, you are not 1, 2, or even 3. You are the 4-time defensive player of the year. I don't even mind if you get in torment by Luka every time you get, because like AB said, that down to Chris Finch. That down to Chris Finch. You got to manage the switches, make men fight through this, because every time McDaniels had either Luka or Kyrie, he was actually making them work. If you and one of the reasons why I think Ant-Man, though he had a decent series, wasn't out loud, was because he had so heavy of a workload with Kyrie and Luka, and who wouldn't? Because I actually do think they are the most potent backcourt the league ever see. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kyrie and James Harden in Brooklyn. Shout out to James Harden and Chris Paul in Houston. Shout out to the Splash Brothers in Golden State. Shout out to Isaiah and Joe Dumars in Detroit. Shout out to Magic and Byron Scott in LA. I could keep going, but none of them wasn't Luka and Kyrie Irving. Like on a real, I would debate that with anybody. And yes, it don't mean nothing but a ring. I know Matt can drop that in me fast. It ain't mean nothing without a ring. But them boys serious, and that's one of the reasons why I think Ant-Man now, because he had to put it like Michael Jordan is my favorite, and it is the GOAT. I used to do it on both ends of the floor, but that's otherworldly. Ant-Man is what, a 3-year player, 4-year player. You know what I mean? He's still got things to learn, and this series also showed that. I like the Denver series did. You know what I mean? You're getting a double team, men throwing the double team at you, and you really ain't sure what to do out of the double team or how to work your players into it. But then I go back to Gobert and ending my discourse here by saying, even if Luka mixing you up when he gets you on an island, you cannot be a mouse on the block. You are a mouse. Men getting down in the block. Yes, Luka passing some awesome dimes, I think, but they're right in front of you. And men finishing on top of you. Defensive player of the year. How are you the defense? That's not happening to Embiid. That's not happening to Zeus. That's not happening to the Joker. That's not happening to AD. No men finishing on you consistently like that all the time. I don't care. No, you have no excuse, Gobert. And that's one of the reasons why the Mavs put this series to bed. And fast. The man was up like 40 in the closeout game.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Game 5 was embarrassing, bro, wasn't it?
Come on.
It got ugly. Like Luke had just come out the first quarter and just took the soul. It's just like, I am taking this game and all of your souls as well. Yeah, all
your soul. Like you're dead. Like you're dead now. So I don't mind that the Mavs won, but it's how. How. Like, man, you're gonna put up more point in it.
Like you say, I can't get mad. You can't get mad at Gobert being cooked by Luka, because everybody gets cooked by Luka. It's he got punked by Gafford and Lively, mate. Them boys were having their way, mate, and they knew it too. And Lively's a rookie. If I'm Gobert, I'm like, rookie, you better step back, bro. Like, he just let them do what they wanted, literally. You know, they did a really good job, Lively and Gafford. That man, they were swarming him, mate, in the paint. Like, Ant-Man couldn't get in the paint, mate, because they were swarming him, weren't they? As soon as he got in there, they were just on him, and you know.
So he got and I like his attitude. I like his attitude. I love his mentality. That I gotta go back and work on this, or don't worry, I coming back. So he got to go and learn what Denver and Dallas did to him.
Yes.
to nullify his effect.
100%.
And if he, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is what superstars do, don't they, bro? They go through stages. You don't just go and straight to the top. It's like, right, okay, you go out in the second round, first round, conference finals, losing the finals. It's like, right, what do I need to do now to go up another level? And I think, like you say, Ant-Man's kind of, I think they've got further than a lot of people thought they were going to.
100%.
If you're a Timberwolves fan, you've got to be thinking we've had an unbelievable year. Dallas are just. This was always the worry, wasn't it, with Dallas? If Kyrie just kind of gets on and just plays ball, this is what it could look like, and it's scary, isn't it? If games are close down the stretch, guys, like they've got two guys who literally can get a bucket at will, and that's the worry, isn't it? And that's what Boston are going to have to find out.
Yeah.
Looking at this series, guys. Edwards did his thing. You needed somebody else to kind of come with him, and nobody could.
That's why Cat getting our smoke. That's why Cat getting our smoke, because Naz Reid coming off the bench and being more effective than you.
Yeah, man. Yes. They let Nas down, man.
Naz Reid's earned himself a lot of money, mate. I think going forward. I don't think he's out of contract this year, but I think next year he might be.
Yeah, it was that game 2 as well, man. Because he hit 7 threes in that game 2, 23 points. That's the game Ant struggled. I think he shot like 5 for 17, and you lose by 1. And that's really a killer, man. Really you get it. It's these fine margins.
But like we applauded the Timberwolves last series for how amazing their defense was. And Luka and Kyrie just cooked them, mate. Like almost like they weren't that good on defense. And
the thing is, they weren't even bad because, and you guys probably got all the stats in front of you, so check their turnover rate. It wasn't bad. Check, you know what I mean? But check where the Mavs kill them is on the boards.
Yeah.
And some of the stat line I was seeing recently. But
freeze, man. Those
corner threes, yeah.
Oh, you see the extra pass? The Mavs was running that kind of old Spurs basketball at one point.
Yeah. But
so the man had a mixture.
They're doubling Luka in the middle of the court, so it's easy to find them corner guys. You got to trap him somewhere. I mean, how do you solve Luka and Kyrie?
Trap him where? You know what I mean? Trap him where? You can trap him.
It's like, what do you do, man? I don't know. Because he's that good. He's going to find the open guy, isn't he? He's that great of a passer. It's just, how would you solve this?
Luka is a cheat code. To solve Luka, I think you got to play Luka like a smaller version of the Joker, because you have to. You're not going to stop them from getting theirs, including getting the ball to their players. But then you got to pressure their players, which is why you mentioned the defense. Naz Reid played particularly well. So did Josh McDaniels. Obviously, so did Ant-Man. And we're talking about on the defensive end of the floor. But then where the rest, we can't really depend on Mike Conley for defense, even though he's no slouch. Kyrie had him with all of them. All of them.
Mate. It didn't matter who it was, bro.
All of them. No matter who it was. But it can come down to them same 2 man we talking about on the block, which is way shot. When men talking, somebody old school men got to stop with this mindset of, they would do this, they would do that. I'm sorry. You got to employ that mindset. If I am Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns, y'all ain't getting nothing down here. Nothing. Shoot that ball out there. And then, if they're getting the free shots, then I can blame the Ant-Mans and the Josh McDaniels and the Mike Conleys and them boys for not, you know what I mean, stepping to them men a little bit better, putting a little bit more pressure on what's up. But if them men applying pressure, and the only man down here hustling is Naz Reid when he get up off the bench, of course we can struggle. Because when Luka come down through the middle and realize, so you thought that crowding me in the middle will solve the problem. Bang, corner, extra pass, elbow, back to the corner, money.
Good night. Thank you. Yeah, done in it. Yeah, but Mavs are probably the surprise of the playoffs. I don't know if we were too high on them when we were coming into the playoffs, guys. I don't know if you want to correct me, but I wasn't. I wasn't too
Um,
high on Mavs coming in. But they made that trade at the deadline, didn't they? They brought Gafford and PJ Washington in, and it's kind of turned their fortune, hasn't it?
It's been lovely.
Yeah.
It's been lovely because then that backcourt. Sorry, Abby.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, those trades of Gafford and PJ Washington, they got them from Charlotte and Washington and the Wizards, and they're going straight to the finals.
None of the finals.
Changing it up, man.
Gafford was available for a pack of pickled onion crisps, mate. Like it was like, take him. Yeah, he was
like you said about Naz Reid. Like you said about Naz Reid, if you're talking stock, Gafford stock looking lovely too now.
100%.
You know what I mean? But
100%. Knows his role, knows what to do, knows what his role is, and gets.
I think that that collection of role players on the block that Dallas now have is one of the reasons they could set free Luka and Kyrie. Yeah. Jason Kidd has to be lauded for that as well.
Yes,
right.
I was just going to come to that, bro. What do you think?
Got a group of fellas that they're not the stars. They don't need to be the stars, but we can put in the muscle work down through here. Even guard tandems like or backup guards like Hardaway Jr. and swingmen like
Hardaway Jr. has hardly got any minutes really in that series.
Because they're satisfied. They're satisfied now for the role, for them big role man to take the groundwork and Kid rotating them.
Yeah,
and just letting Luka and Kyrie obliterate everything else.
Yeah, I said this on the last show when I was alone in the broom cupboard on my own. Derrick Jones Jr., somebody who's been around, who nobody wanted, and they've turned him. He starts for him now, and he's turned himself into a half decent corner 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
the defense that he plays, he's turned himself into a really useful player on a team now who's in the finals. So, like you say, people who probably other teams didn't want.
The Heat.
Yeah.
Remember he was in Miami.
Yes.
He was in Miami.
Yeah.
He was a good piece for Miami as well. But I think, and I don't know, AB might even notice a little bit better than me, following contract situations and what's not. He had some issue with monies and what's which is why his stock went down or whatever the case may be. But that was a lovely pickup by Dallas.
Yeah,
even
just inserting him into the starting lineup because he wasn't starting straight away. As soon as they put him into the lineup, I think they went on like a 24-9 run, and which was like the second best in the league, obviously behind the Celtics. And even in the postseason, like him and PJ Washington, like he's shooting 46% in corner threes. Derrick Jones Jr. So obviously, if he can ride that going into the finals, then definitely Dallas will be a team to be feared, man. But Derrick Jones,
and that's perfect for a point guard like Luka.
Exactly.
Who will find that corner?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just looking at Jonesy's teams, man. He's had 5 or 6 teams like over the years. So he's been a bit of a journeyman, but now he's found somewhere where he's valued and doing a decent job. So. Fair play to the Mavs front office as well for getting these guys in. Who they're all happy with the roles. They're all happy with the roles on the team that they've got, and they come in and they do the job, and it's coming up good for them at the moment. So moving on, guys.
You asked if we were high on the Mavs. If you can remember what I said.
I wasn't. I know that, mate. Sorry.
We none of us. I don't think any of us were. If you could correct me if he was. But I remember on the show, I saying that the Mavs are tricky to call because if the Mavs get it right, Mavs is one of them teams that if they get it right behind a player like a Luka, then they could be a problem.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're coming along to moving on. This obviously the finals is going to be Celtics and Mavs. Game 1 starting on Thursday night. AB, what are your initial thoughts on the finals matchups, man? And what can you give us a score prediction? How you think maybe it's going to turn out, dude?
Yeah, I'll do the prediction at the end. But yeah, in terms of stylistically, I think this is going to be a great finals, man. Obviously, you got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum back in the finals after 2 years out, losing to the Warriors. Trying to see if they can finally get over that hump because they've been knocking on the door, man. They've been in like what's that, 6 conference finals now, second finals. And yeah, I think now is the time for them to really get it done. Obviously, in their second finals, the first finals, you're going up against a team with so much history and legacy in the Warriors. Obviously, you can get a bit rattled and frazzled by that. You're looking at the other side, you've seen Steph, Clay, Draymond, at the time, 3-time NBA champions. Obviously, Jason Tatum was what, 24 in his first finals, and he was like the head honcho of the Celtics at the time. So yeah, you can understand why they got a bit frazzled and stuff like that, losing. I think it was in 6 at the end. But yeah, you're going up against a Mavs team. Luka, it's his first finals in the NBA because we got to remember that boy was killing it in the EuroLeague. That guy was playing for Real Madrid at 16. Let's not forget, it's still basketball. It's still basketball, exactly, at 16. So it's still, a lot of people say, oh, it's his first finals. He might be, no. Luka is that guy.
Mate, have you seen them crowds in them EuroLeague games, bro? They are no joke, bro.
It's not fouls they got to worry about.
Bro, then you got to go play Maccabi Haifa and Galatasaray, man.
Bro.
And the crowd is worse than a football game because it's closer to the court.
They are insane, aren't they? Insane, dude. Yeah.
Bro.
Mad. So yeah, you got the other side of it. Dallas, obviously Jason Kidd. He was in the finals with the Mavs in 2011 when they managed to pull it off. Now he's coaching.
Beat the Heat.
That's what I said. Exactly. So yeah, Kyrie Irving back in the finals in what I think is his perfect role as a number 2. He's probably one of the best ever, man. I mean, you get him as a number 2, you know what he can do. Like, the pressure's not on him, but when you need him in the clutch, when the game's on the line, you know you can give him the ball and he's gonna hit that big shot. So yeah,
man's got priors, mate. Game 7 finals. Danny, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
We've seen it before, haven't we, bro? Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, as we mentioned earlier, I don't think the Celtics have played a team of this ilk in the playoffs. I mean, we spoke about that run to the finals, the fact that they haven't played every team they've played, their star player has somehow
I'm sorry,
went down on
you're rubbing that in, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm not even trying. I'm just being honest. They haven't played a team of this ilk yet.
100%.
Nothing but facts, AB. Nothing but
100%. Since you said it, since you said it, I'm backing you 100%, bro.
You have to take that into consideration. And obviously, you've got the health aspects of things. Porzingis, is he going to be ready? Apparently, on Saturday, he participated in a light 5-on-5 play with his teammates, but we don't know. Obviously, you don't want to just thrust him into the lineup in the NBA Finals against his former team and say, listen, go ball out, because you don't know what's going to happen in that situation. But yeah, so Celtics are going to have to raise their game. Obviously, there's a lot of discourse online about Jason Tatum. Is he the best player on the team? Jaylen Brown winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're going to see how he elevates his game, how the Mavericks, if guys like PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr., Daniel Gafford, we mentioned they came from Charlotte and Washington and all those other teams. Like, this is the NBA Finals now. We've seen them doing a conference finals, we've seen them do it against the reigning champions. But with all that being said, the NBA Finals is a different kettle of fish right now. So can they keep up that hot streak? I mentioned earlier, Derek Jones Jr. shooting 46% from the corner. PJ Washington shooting 41% from the corner. When Lucas swings in the rock now in the finals, are those shots going to be getting knocked down as well? Because it's about the others as well. Because we know what Lucas is going to do. We know what Kyrie's going to do. But obviously, it's a team collective. So those are the things that I'm going to be looking at. From a Boston side of things, obviously, you've got the team. We spoke about Luka and Kyrie's offensive firepower. But when you talk about matchups, if there's ever a team that can nullify that backcourt threat, you have to say it has to be the Celtics. You look at Drew Holiday, you look at Derek White, all NBA defenders. You've got size in Tatum and Brown, and you know the Celtics, they love to switch. They don't really leave their guys a one-on-one. So that switchability with Tatum, with Brown, with Drew, because obviously Drew Holiday is undersized when you look at him guarding Luka. So you have to look at that sort of defensive scheme. And if there is a team to cause them trouble, it would be the Celtics. So with all that being said, I think it's going to be a really, really good series. And you look at, obviously, the Celtics bigs in, the Mavs bigs in Gafford and Lively as well, going up against old man Al, who's still trying to get his first championship, age 405. So yeah, like how is he gonna cope? How is he gonna cope, especially if there's no Porzingis? And
Rough.
obviously, it's not the Celtics previously where when they had like Robert Williams III, who was that athletic, bouncy, big. They put next to Al at times when they when they needed size, but they don't have him anymore. So yeah, that's gonna be. And obviously, you don't want Luke if they ever bring out Luke Cornett in the final. So yeah, that's barbecue chicken, man. If Luke had done that to Gobert, what's he gonna do to Luke Cornett? So yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm looking at schematically when I'm looking at the matchup. But yeah, what did you want me to give my predictions as well?
Yeah, man, go for it, mate.
All right, cool. So obviously, with all that being said, obviously,
you gotta stay with your chest, man.
I said it earlier. I don't really like the Celtics, but I have to give cogent analysis with no bias.
Unbiased, mate. Unbiased, bro.
I just can't think about how. I just can't stop thinking about how Luka and Kyrie are really going to dominate this series, man. I mean, we spoke about earlier, probably the best offensive backcourt we've seen in NBA history. I mean, I don't see how the Celtics stop them, despite the fact they've got these all defense, they've caliber defenders, but I just have to back the Mavs, man. I think the Mavs get this done in 6. I think Luka is the best player in this series when I look at the teams, and I think based off experience, Kyrie's the second best player in the series as well. I think if you look at based on history and right now how they're playing, I know Jason Tatum's had a great series, even though he didn't win Eastern Conference MVP, but he's dropping like 36 and 10, 30-point games and things like that. But I can't forget the fact that there's certain times where he really struggles, like especially shooting from 3 or even from field goals, that sometimes he gets too cold and things like that. And Kyrie Irving, like sometimes him and Luka, they alternate. Like Luka might go off 20 points in a quarter, as we saw in the closeout game against the Mavs. Kyrie Irving, second quarter, you're up. He might hit 3-4 threes and then gets them going and stuff like that. He doesn't really need the ball like that to get going. So I don't see how the Celtics stop that. I feel like the size as well of obviously Gafford and Lively, we've mentioned numerous times. I feel like that's really going to be a problem as well. And obviously, yeah, I just think the Mavs get it done in 6. I think they've got the best player in the series. I think they've got the second best player in the series. And I don't think that even though the Celtics defense is strong, I don't think they'll have an answer for Luka, with all due respect to Jrue Holiday. So yeah, I'm taking the Mavs in 6.
Mavs in 6. Nice, AV. Nice. Great analysis there, bro.
Lock it in.
Bro. So, yeah, knock that down, mate. Knock that down. Mavs in 6, bro. Philosophy, over to you, my friend.
So I'm gonna start where he ended. I also got the Mavs in 6.
Okay.
Anybody could they could include my hit in that. Don't care. They could include. I don't care. I don't ever. I know
you're not choosing Boston, bro. I know.
I don't
He picked
ever.
places to beat them. I can't believe that.
I don't ever back the Celtics to win. Nothing. Listen, the Los Angeles Lakers should have had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Let's not even begin to remind me that we drafted Lonzo Ball and was it Julius Randle?
Yeah, I'm Brandon Ingram.
Now, the 2 years that Boston drafted Brown and then Tatum at both number 3s, we drafted, I think it was Brandon Ingram. We drafted Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, but no Kilco, so we could have been no Kilco. All right, cool. But yes, I have no love for the Leprechauns, and I actually think that. So here goes the objective side of me now. Boston is the better team in this matchup. In this matchup, Boston's the better team. Boston's the more balanced team, like by far. Like ain't even close. How balanced, how more experienced Boston is over Dallas. Yes, Luka got that EuroLeague experience, and I don't think anybody should take that for granted when it comes to winning things. But it's the NBA Finals. To put in my best Stephen A voice, this is the NBA Finals. This is the NBA Finals. This is where it's mid. Hey, EuroLeague players all want to play on this stage, no matter how hostile of an environment they've played in. Every basketball player ever want to be in the NBA Finals. And in the NBA Finals, Boston have the experience edge, and as a team, they're more balanced than Dallas. Where I think Boston, I still remember what I said. Mavs in 6. Good. This is where I think Mavs will have a problem. I don't think Mavs have an answer as much as Dallas as Boston don't have an answer for Luka or Kyrie. I dare say, the Mavs have no answer for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown here. They are 2 swing men. It's not like either of them are an out-and-out guard. No matter how well they shoot the ball from beyond the arc and from mid-range, there are 2 swing men. There are 2 forwards at them. So this is like having Mike and Pip on dope when they're playing well. Notice what I said. So let me not be blasphemous and include a Jordan and Pippen reference. You know what I mean? For 2 leprechauns. But if we think about it, Jason Tatum is a 6'10" shooting guard. Yeah. Really and truly. And Jaylen Brown is 6'7", 6'8", maybe. You know what I mean? Another really and truly shooting guard. And they play 4 and 3. They play the power forward and the small forward.
Yeah.
They have the luxury of having 2 very good defensively minded guards in Giroux and Derek White, so they can do that. But Dallas can really have a problem with them two young boys there, because they're 2 swing men who can shoot the ball well. So they're going to draw out their matchups, like the Liveleys and the Gaffords and the PJ Washingtons, and they can step past them, to which I think Boston need to do. So Joe Mazzulla need to tell Jason Tatum to not depend on that outside shot like he tends to do so often from early. Even when he cold, as AB said, he decided he's shooting. Bruh, you 6'10", drive the people basketball. If Jason Tatum does that, they will have Dallas will have a serious problem. Because, and here's my first disagreement with AB. Yes, Luka is the best player in this series. I think that's relatively undisputed. But Jason Tatum is the second best player in this series. Let me not get tired. All due respect to my boy Uncle Drew, NBA champion Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum is that guy. He is a monster. Let's not count the ghost moments. And when
but do you trust him? That's the question. No, talent-wise, but do you trust Tatum more than Kyrie going into these finals?
No, you changed the question.
Okay. What I meant was cool. What I meant was I trust Kyrie more to deliver than Jason Tatum.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
I trust.
Yeah, been there, done that. Kyrie's been to the mountaintop. Exactly. Cleveland have a ring because of Kyrie. All due respect to Gloria James' son, who now plays his trade in Los Angeles. Cleveland have a ring because of a huge shot by Kyrie Irving. Yeah. And he was no slouch in that finals either. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, we trust Kyrie more than we trust Jason Tatum. But let's not enter all the narratives. I think Boston will have a problem with Luka and Kyrie, but not as much of a problem that the Wolves had, because they got Giroux and Derek White, who, if we objectively calling it correct, will give the 2 of them more trouble by far than the Wolves did.
Than anyone
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, if they step past them, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can also defend. So like I said, Boston a more balanced team. Period.
Don't be surprised if you get Tatum or Brown guarding Luka at some point.
Yeah,
I see that because they're bigger. They need probably they're going to try as much as they can, aren't they? But
put the size on him. Put the wingspan on him.
Because remember, the Clippers used to put Paul George on Luka when they played in the playoffs those last couple series, and that guy was.
But the problem there is in addition to putting the bigger guard on Luka, you have to double him with an equally competent defensive player. So if the Clippers had Kawhi, this is why the Clippers feel they miss Kawhi so much. If the Clippers had Kawhi, when they sent Paul George for Luka and he stepped past Paul George, he got to deal with the claw necks. You see what I'm saying? In them defensive schemes and what's not. Boston can do that now between Giroux. I'm not even going to include Derek White because Derek White can get murdered. I personally feel like Derek White can get murdered. He could get slaughtered.
No slouch in his own right, bro. But
exactly. He can defend. But he could get slaughtered. He's too small to guard Luka, and he's too slow to guard Kyrie. So he could get slaughtered. But they can employ between Giroux, Tatum, and Brown schematics that deal with the double tandem of Luka and Kyrie. What I had one more point that I wanted to drop before I finish my thing, but it's an exciting. Oh, the narratives! It's an exciting series to watch because of all of the narratives. Porzingis, an ex-Dallas player, playing against them now. Kyrie, ex-Boston player, playing against them now. Giroux, won a ring with the Bucks. Kyrie won a ring with the Cavs. Luka's first NBA Finals. Against Tatum and Brown, returned to the finals. Al Horford still in winning. Joe Mazzulla has brought the team that everybody said was tailor-made for him, that he couldn't even get back to the finals. That what's his name? Ume took to the finals. Now Joe's got them here. Udoka's got them. Jason Kidd, who won with the Mavs as a player, has now got the Mavs there as a coach. There's so many all the boys that come from their garbage teams that know have been critical pieces on the Mavs to get them to the finals, to help them get to the finals. There's so many little stories and narratives that are wrong this finals that's going to make this finals a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. And I don't think, and as for Porzingis, them youngsters, Gafford and Lively, them men met Porzingis miserable. He's hurt. He's coming back from an injury. He's not going to be in form, and he's going to struggle dealing with them Mavs boys. And for that reason, I think the Mavs win in 6. Derek White can't deal with the guards. Porzingis can struggle. And to incorporate Amy's point, if Tatum don't do what he should, Tatum in particular, because Brown has been relatively consistent this playoffs. Then Boston gonna be in trouble.
Wow, yeah, that's excellent analysis as always, sir. It's definitely going to be an interesting finals, isn't it? I've had a message from Jordan. Do you want to? I can read his analysis for the finals. It's short and sweet, I think.
Come on, Jordan.
He says Celtics in 6.
What's he said?
He says Celtics in 6. He says Tatum MVP.
Of course he does.
He says Luka injury, I think, will worsen with the intensity.
Oh my God!
He will still be great, but he won't be able to reach the level. It's a question mark, guys, isn't it? You know, Jordan's
for sure.
Mate, Luka looks like he's having his knee drained before every game, mate, to me. Because he keeps having them blood stains on his knees, man. That's right. He's having his knee drained or something.
Which strengthens AB's point to this asterisk run to the finals by the Boston Celtics.
If he has to lose time, I'm losing my head, man.
If Luka loses time, AB, we're going to dinner, bro. We're going to dinner. I'm gonna call you. And tell you, bro. It might be McDonald's, but I'm taking you to dinner, bro, because you cannot be that spot on. Every single round, the Boston Celtics have had have played against a team that has had their star player out for a significant amount of the games.
Yeah. Jordan also said something about Kyrie that I probably shouldn't say on this podcast, but safe to say, he tells him he can go make love to himself or something.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
that's why Kyrie can prove it. Do it.
Well,
we're gonna be burning sage all over the TD God.
Mate, since he stomped on the leprechaun guys, he hasn't won since. So
that's true.
He's
like 10-0 or something. 0-10, sorry, I think
it might be 11,
it's 10-0.
10 or 11 or something. Yeah.
It's 10. It's 10.
So
it's 10.
He's gonna hear it. He's gonna hear it from that Boston crowd, isn't he? That's for sure. He's not gonna get a hero's welcome, is he, Kyrie? I don't think that goes without saying. For me, guys, I think those four are going to cancel each other out, and it's going to come down to the other guys, as the TNT crew always say. And I think Boston have more other players who can contribute than Dallas do. So I'm going against you guys, man. I've got Celtics in 6.
Okay.
We've seen all playoffs, bro. Home court doesn't mean anything. Because teams are going in and not just winning, but whipping folks at home, aren't they? Away from home.
I've got a theory about that as well, and y'all know I always harping on about this. It's the reason why the All-Star weekend is broken. It's the reason why the game is the defensive intensity needs to return to the NBA. It's the reason why we get 150-point games. The defensive intensity, the lack of defensive intensity, is what, because even now when teams play good defense, it comes as a surprise. Like, oh, the defense is so good, and I'm like, this was a norm. This used to be a norm. Like,
now it's like unbelievable defending. This used to be like standard, isn't it?
Right. So now. We walk in to a gym, to an arena, playing away from home. Nobody is scared. You know what I mean? Nobody is scared. If we lead in, if our team is away from home, we lead in by 20. When you got players in press conferences now saying, "Oh, a 20-point lead isn't safe." What?
In this day and age, it's not, mate. But like,
it's not.
It's really not. And that's a kudos to the offense. Fine, but I'm sorry. If I am at home, I defending home court. Defending home court. Oh, but I don't know, man.
I think the 3-point shooting as well is one of the things as well, because you was mentioning Adam when talk about the Celtics and Tatum falling in love with the free, well, the Celtics in general falling in love with the free. They don't want to get to the paint and attract contact and like try to finish inside the paint. Remember the Celtics in the regular season? I can't remember who they played. I think they played the Bucks. That game there was 0 free throws for both teams. No one shot any free, and of course the Celtics has to be involved in that, and that is just insane. That I don't know, maybe because my team's the Sixers and we live at the line with them being in it. So
yeah,
maybe
Nah, it's not. That's not why. But you like
free throws is crazy.
No free throws is madness.
Yeah,
in an NBA game, madness. Get to the line. Get all great players here. Get to the line, especially if you don't. If you don't and nothing is work, like for instance, going back to Ant-Man and his struggles with the double team. Yeah, get to the line. He needs somebody like Mike or Kobe, God rest him, that he's being compared to all the time, to tell him you don't need a LeBron, you don't need a Jason Tatum, because this is the man that does run from the line. Understand? You need to talk to Embiid, talk to Giannis, who struggles from the line but gets there. If I struggling with my field goal average, all right, cool. I can drive this basketball because you got to foul me. You got to stop me. Talk to Kyrie. Get to the line. I can try. If my shot not falling, I going to talk to Luka. I going to the hole.
Yeah.
Go to the hole.
Yeah.
Get so you'll be amazed to see by going to the free throw line, sinking a few free throws, then all of a sudden your game raised.
Rhythm's in then. Yeah, we were going, aren't we? We're off. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun finding out, guys, isn't it? So are you going to be watching game one, gents, live? Are you going to tune in?
Are we good? Did you just ask me if I'm going to be watching the NBA
I
final?
knew the answer, really, bro. I'm just putting it out there, man.
What? Let me boast for a minute. I've been privileged to live in different countries in my lifetime. I have never missed the NBA finals. Are you mad? Nah, the NBA finals. I was sitting in front of the TV with my legs crossed in 1994 when they cut the NBA finals to show OJ Simpson running across the highway.
Oh, man.
What you mean? What you mean? Nah. And he's dead and gone now. God rest him. I hope he sorted out his demons with the man upstairs. You know what I mean? But like on a real, I don't miss the finals. The first finals I can remember watching was 1988. 1988. I must have been about 4 or 5 years old. But 1988.
Yeah.
The first time the Pistons, I think the Pistons lost to Magic's Lakers. My dad was a huge Magic Johnson fan. Huge Magic Johnson. Them days, obviously, I am in awe of Michael Jordan. The man playing above the ring, blah 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 blah. I just want to do that. You know what I mean? But that's the first one I can remember watching. Haven't missed one since. Don't plan to either. I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the poor.
Absolutely. So the philosopher will be watching. I'm sure AB will be watching. I'll be watching.
Man.
To see us out there, AB, if you want to, as we leave, do you want to give yourself some self-promotion while you duck out, bro?
Yeah, obviously I'll be in tune to the finals. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward. I just want it to start already. I mean, it's been so many days without NBA basketball and all this. I hate this time between like the conference finals and the NBA finals because it's all this narrative stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like, I just want the basketball to do the talking. Like, I love the talk shows and I love the analysis more, but all the agenda stuff. I know we had a little bit of agenda here, but I just want the finals to start. I just want it to start. So yeah. Come June 6th, I'll be locked in, man. I'll be locked in for sure. And yeah, hopefully you get to see some good basketball being played. And most importantly, I don't want no stars getting hurt, man. We spoke about this earlier. I want everyone as full strength as possible. Yeah. And then whoever wins, fair enough. If I'm wrong, fair enough. If I'm right, fair enough. But I just want everyone healthy and everyone ball out. That's all I want to see, basically.
For real.
Yeah, man. Whoever wins, wins. Yeah, no excuses, bro. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Philosopher, give yourself some self-promotion, bro, before we duck out, dude.
Well, you know you can find me Philosopher005. Check YouTube. Don't worry, we coming. Or Jean-Marc_Maximus on Instagram. And never, ever watch this podcast or listen to it before smashing that like or subscribe. Hey, big up to AB as well. You don't know Clutch. The real Clutch. The real Clutch. Yeah? The real Clutch.
AB always comes through in the clutch, bro.
It's true.
Absolutely. Thanks, gents, for coming on as always. It's an absolute pleasure having you on, guys. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'm Matt at PostUp323. I will be dropping this podcast on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts, you'll be able to listen to it for your morning commute. I'll be doing some podcasts later on this week where I'll be talking to some Dallas Maverick fans and some Boston Celtics fans before the final.
Oh, wow.
So stay tuned for that, guys. They'll be dropping in the next few days before the finals start. We'll be back in a couple of weeks where, the finals will be well into it and we'll talk about all the talking points. So thanks very much for tuning in, people. We will take care and we'll see you again very soon. Thanks very much.